This podcast is kindly brought to you by M&J Zimbabwe, SEPA, Soft Smart, Red Circle HLO Solutions.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your favorite podcast where we get to give you the latest updates and information that you can use to decide on the next course of your business trajectory. And as always, I'm joined by Jerry Nyazungu, the chartered vendor.
What's up?
Jerry, how are you?
I'm okay.
How are you feeling today?
Very, very fine.
I was feeling a little bit under the weather some couple of days, and I would like to share my experience when I was trying to get some medication. They didn't have the drug that was prescribed on my prescription, but immediately then when they told me that we don't have it, they then gave me an alternative and said it can still work the same way that you want it to work. So I trusted my physician who wrote that particular drug for me. Now when the pharmacist was trying to give me an alternative, I didn't feel so comfortable. I was like, you know what, I'll look for this one, and then if I don't find it, I'll come back. So now let's talk about you as a salesperson. You said you're an assistant buyer.
Exactly.
And you're always there to assist the customer. The customer's interest, what's at your heart, that's your top priority. So when a customer comes and asks for a product that you do not have, is it okay to offer an alternative to that customer when it doesn't serve the needs that they initially, or when it doesn't serve the primary product that they were looking for, or the service that they were looking for initially?
Okay.
Is it okay to do that?
Yeah, it's okay to do that, but it depends now. Because the issue now is when someone is asking for a certain product, and obviously, like what you said, you're trusting your physician, and you're saying you're given a certain drug, that's fine, but the salesperson now is supposed to give you, yes, giving an alternative is not a problem, but also when that alternative is not going to serve the purpose, or it's not going to treat you like the drug which was prescribed initially, because remember, it's all about trust, because sales is almost 100% trust. If you notice right now, if you have a meeting with people who you don't know, probably you're on this other side, you're selling to someone who you don't know. The first question is about, do I really trust these people? Not even, they can have a good product, they can have a good product better than, the reason why I would like doing business with you, even if you're going to say, Jerry, I'm selling something for 1,000, probably your competitor is actually selling it at 500. I would rather say, let me deal with Steve, because I know that there is no way Steve is going to shortchange me. Number two, if Steve is going to probably fail to deliver, I know where he stays. I know where he works. So it's very easy. So that's the issue now. So the first thing when you're meeting someone, do I really trust them? That's why people, they say, no, I need to visit your office. I need to see where I need your company papers, I need everything. But you're never going to do that to someone who you trust. So in this instance, you trust your physician, but you don't trust the pharmacist. So the first thing as a salesperson, what he or she was supposed to do was to build that trust, to build that rapport, to find a common ground with you. Probably when you got into that pharmacy, if I may ask, how did they greet you? Did they greet you with enthusiasm?
I'm actually the one who greeted them.
So you see where the problem is now.
Good morning, I'm looking for this prescribed drug.
Are you going to trust someone who you are? It actually reminds me, this other client I met today, they are into selling gas. So she was saying, the competition here is very tough. Some people are selling $1.13, some people are selling $1.25. And also remember, electricity problem is no longer there in Zimbabwe. Thumbs up to the government. They solved that problem. I think our 1K units are now on, but we need also a solution. I think we'll talk about that as well. We need a long-term solution.
A long-term solution.
Because probably we don't want to depend on coal only and water only, but thumbs up to the government. The electricity is not there. But coming back to the story, they said gas. Then I said to her, no, the problem is when you compete on price, you neglect all these other factors. Because you are only focusing on, if I'm going to charge less, I'll get most of the customers. But that is not true. If you notice it, when even you get into a shop, probably you're going to get, even on a shelf, are you going to get the cheapest rice? Are you going to get the cheapest cooking oil?
No.
Are you going to get the cheapest meat?
No.
Or you look at the person who's serving you. How are they talking to you? How are they addressing you? How are they handling you? Up to when you're now getting to the product. So people now will put too much emphasis on the product and we tend to remove all these other factors which make someone pay the money. Because if this guy is greeted you with enthusiasm, I say you want to, I say, let's say, good morning, Mr. Steve. How can I help you today? What's the problem? Are you the one who's sick or is your wife? It's me. I'm not feeling me. I'm being under the weather. Okay, this terrible flu. I think even my friend had this flu. Do you know that he was actually going to say, I gave them this pill. Before you even give them the prescription, they're going to start saying, no, I know of some other tablets which you can take, which can help you. You see, you are now an assistant buyer. You are now helping your customer. So nowadays, the issue now is about the doctors are not also helping the customer. The pharmacists, the people are putting people with pharmacist they've got qualification in pharmacy, diplomas, etc. But they forget that they're in the business of sales. So the moment they are going to convince me, have you ever noticed that if you are convinced in a right way, you might get into that shop, want to buy pills, but you might end up even buying a deal for your wife. You might end up even buying chocolate for your kid. You might end up even buying extra pills. Say, do you have these pills which for even for your mother, even paracetamol? You just say, no, I need to stay with these. Because why? You feel like you trust these people. These people are part of you. That's why I wrote this book, Selling Like a Vendor, and I'm talking about how vendors try to explain things. They pretend as if they're on your side. And when you pretend as if you're on someone's side, immediately I'm feeling safe. I'm like, so the issue about sales, coming to your question now, it's about what we think of price only, but it's about how are you going to greet someone on the phone? How are you going to handle someone once they're actually getting into your shop? Instead of watching them and like you're watching a robot or you're watching something which is funny or a horror movie, someone can feel that. Easily feel that. Then I'm now asking for the sake of it because probably it's the nearest pharmacy from your place. You're now just doing it because it's a nearest pharmacy, but you just feel that I have not been serviced well. I still remember when I was staying in Waterfalls, I think past 5 years or so. Previous years I was staying in Highfields, and there's this other 24-hour clinic. I trusted that 24-hour clinic to the extent that I would leave Waterfalls. The whole 4 years I stayed in, or 2 years, I stayed for 4 years in Highfields, but I stayed for 2 years in Waterfalls. I would still go back to that. But there were a lot of better, nice 24 surgeries. But I wasn't comfortable. You see, I wasn't comfortable because I don't trust them. And I'm not comfortable because of the way they are going to service me. But if their service was going to be better than the service I was getting at Highfields, immediately I would have abandoned them and they just start. Because when someone is sick, they really need that care. Because remember, especially when you're sick, when you've got flu, sometimes even you're moody, things are, you're not just feeling well. You're not in the, So when I'm sick, that's when I need the most care. But unfortunately, our hospitals and our pharmacies, they treat us like patients. They don't treat us like customers.
True. And then you mentioned something that is very interesting. They're like building trust with the customer. And then you realize that half the time, if you own a product, if you own a service, it's easy for you to build trust with the customer because you can speak for your service, you can speak for your product. And sometimes even when the product is not yours, maybe it's just redistribution. Like shout out to the ladies who are selling Avon products, trying to make ends meet. They are really not their products. But the way they jump in to build the trust with their customers, they will tell them, I bought this perfume for my brother and he likes it so much. Or I actually bought this dress for someone and they went on a date with it. And now the fact that they've given you a real life experience with that product or with that service, it makes you trust the person who's selling
and
that.
And someone who is happy about the product.
Right.
And but you know what? Most of the trust is not built on the product per se. trust is built. You know, my relationship with you, the reason why I say Steve is my friend, the reason why I say probably I've got a problem, let me call Steve, it's not because of the transaction. It's because of other things, the stories we share, the conversations we do, whilst we are probably relaxing. Imagine if you're getting into the pharmacy, but someone starts speaking to you about Manchester United, probably you're wearing a Manchester jersey. My brother, I think your team is being beaten these days. You start laughing it off. Probably that minute, you might even forget that you've got a flu. Because you're now joking with the person. If it's ladies, probably the lady is smiling. You're not talking about other things. How is your kid? How is everything and stuff like that? You're joking. Do you know that you can build trust better when you're joking with someone? And when I've done it several times. When I'm invited to a meeting which is supposed to be talking about the product or the service, I would rather spend 30 minutes talking about other things and 5 minutes talking about the agenda of the meeting.
Why do you do that?
Because it gives someone will relax. Speak about what they want. And they start narrating whatever they want. So they get into that mood of saying, I think I'm very good. I can have a conversation. I don't mind talking to this person even for years. I don't mind. Because remember, we're talking about trust. So trust is not built on a transaction. The moment you start justifying it with the transaction, like what you're saying, to say, my brother has once used the perfume. It's your brother. Do I trust your brother? I don't trust him. Yes, it can build a better trust. It's better to say it that way. But I'm saying you will not get the trust of that person because you're mentioning your side. You're not mentioning my side. Understand what I need. For example, if I want to sell a perfume to someone today, I'll first say, which perfume were you using? You see? Okay, then you're going to say, I was using this type and I like this type. Okay, do you mind if I can even give you the same type, probably same scent of that perfume, but on a different label, like Evan? You get what I mean? Because why? You're understanding what the customer needs. It's about, if you ever notice that you say, I want to send, I wanted a dog trainer. I got 2 dogs. Because of thieves, obviously, you need dogs. So what this
vicious one.
Yeah, this the German Shepherd dogs.
Okay.
So I was once referred to this other guy. When I was referred to him, I'm saying, hi, do you train dogs? Hi, I do. Okay, how much is it? $200. Done. Conversation done.
Okay.
Or do you want me to send the dogs to you, or you're supposed to train them at my house? I can come to your house. How long? For a month. You see, I'm the one who's initiating the conversation. It was boring. I never did it. But I spoke to someone yesterday. Okay, I want to train dogs. Okay, which type of the dogs? GST. What do you really want the dogs to do? See, compare these conversations. What do you really want the dogs to do? No, I want them to be at least, they're supposed to be, at least I want them to be, I want that comfort to say, when I got my dogs, I want them to know who to attack. They used to be vicious, but only to foreigners, not to bite probably the people at home. Or I don't want them to also to befriend foreigners. Then I said to him, okay, what else? And he said, what else do you need? Then I said, also, I don't want them to litter everywhere. And he said, I think I can do that. Then he said, then I said, also, I want them to learn at least the basic instructions, like sit, like kennel, they should understand. We should have a conversation with them. Yeah. For me to enjoy whilst I'm with them. Then he said, that's okay. I think I can do it for you. Then what I also need to ask, do you want to bring the dogs, or you want me to train them at your place? Then I said, I think I'll be more comfortable training them at my place. Then he said, it's okay, because I was going to give them a boarding facility. Then I said, it's okay. You see the conversation I was having. This guy it was not about the training of the dogs. It was not about him. It was about me.
What you want.
What I want. So most of the people, we don't care about what they want. We are busy selling our product. We are busy selling our service, and we are busy talking more about ourselves. But when I'm in a transaction, I don't care about you. I only care about what? About myself. Customers, they're selfish people.
Very selfish, yeah.
It's all about, yes, you can have a customer, you can service a lot of customers, but customers are different. I can sell this book to 1,000 people. I've sold it to many people, but it's about every customer I'm trying to sell this book to. They've got different challenges and different needs. So probably I'm selling it to a student. I'm supposed to highlight something about their career, how they failed their A level. They're thinking of going to university. They now know that no, you can make it in life without necessarily going through university. So when I'm selling to a student, I'm supposed to understand
their needs as a student.
I'm not just going to say this is a good book. For what?
Yeah, you need to define the purpose. And so yeah, you can come through and let us know your experience that you've had with customers. Are you the kind of me kind of salesperson who's more concerned about closing the sale and putting under the rug the needs of the customers to whom you are actually trying to close the sale with? So yeah, you can let us know in the comments down below. But for now, we take a short break. We'll be back shortly, and don't you dare move an inch. Subscribe, share, and we'll stay engaged with more content coming your way.
Hello everyone, my name is Philanthe Jinya from Red Circle HR Solutions. Red Circle HR Solutions provide customized HR solutions to different types of companies. We understand that different types of companies are facing different types of problems, so we are here to offer you the solutions to those problems. We at Red Circle HR Solutions, through our fact finding, will be able to understand the different types of problems that you're facing and the needs of your business. Engage with us today and let us help you simplify HR.
This podcast is kindly brought to you by M&J Zimbabwe, SEPA, Soft Smart, Red Circle HR Solutions, and M&J Zambia.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. If you're tuning in just now, then please subscribe and share the video with your friends. You can always participate in the comment section. We always have giveaway prizes, especially the books that are on set. We'll give them away to the people who come through with overwhelming conversations or comments that can spark up conversation and leading us into the next episode of the podcast. So yeah, before we went for the break, we were talking about building trust, and you highlighted key elements that people need to focus on as they are selling. That if you need to build trust, not around the product itself, but build a rapport with the person, make it about them and less of you, because they are the ones who need the product. So then you need to understand their needs so that your product can solve whatever they have at hand. And I think you did justice to that part of the conversation. But now we want to move on to a very interesting one. So I remember some time back, I was doing some consulting work for this big retail outlet, and they were having a challenge. Their challenge was very simple. They have a confectionery department where they sell the freshly baked stuff, biscuits, bread, scones, buns, and all sorts of things. So their main problem was that some of the things were not being bought. So they ended up throwing those things away. So as a means of internal control, they put someone who was responsible for that aisle of fresh baked foods. And they told them that you're supposed to analyze the demand for the stuff that we produce. And then the next day you use data from previous day to make new stock or to bake new stuff. If the things don't sell out, we deduct the loss from your salary. They put that weight on that particular worker. And tell you what, they five if not 6 people resigned from that position because it just wasn't working out. So I came in, they were trying to pick up my mind on what they need to do. So I gave them a simple solution and told them, you can reuse your products. If they don't serve the first purpose, reuse them. What other thing can you use them for? And then they told me you can actually dry bread, and then you crush it, and then it makes these nice things that you can use to bake and coat some chicken or some meat, whatever you are doing, right? So I then realized in that moment that I created a problem recently when I went to that same supermarket. So I was waiting in line to get a burger. I wanted a burger from their store. The lettuce, the tomatoes, everything was fresh. Guess what was stale? The bun.
Exactly.
It was stale.
Yeah.
So I asked them, the lady was making the burger, is your bun fresh? And then she looked at me and said, it's fresh. They got, no, is it really fresh?
Yeah.
And then she told me that she got it from the baker, so it must be fresh. So what she was trying to do was trying to play out a point of view where she says, I just got them this morning, so they must be fresh. But from the bakery, they're already stale.
Exactly.
So I then told her, but I know that this bun is not fresh. And then she laughed off and said, if I came to your house and you have kids, and if I ask you if your kids are naughty, would you say that they are naughty? And then we laughed it off. So brings me to the next point. These guys actually got their savers or their retailers to lie to customers that these buns are fresh as a way of selling. Is it a good idea to lie to your customers or to get your sales team to over exaggerate on the benefits that their customers are getting from buying a certain product or a certain service?
Yeah.
Because I've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Someone is so confident with the product that even some of the stuff that they are saying the product can do, they are lies.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing to lie to the customer about their benefits?
It's not. Because why? In business, yes, you can overpromise, but you need also to overdeliver. And don't lie to the customer. Don't manipulate a customer. Remember, a disappointed customer is going to tell more than 12 people. But a satisfied customer is going to talk to only 2 people. So you'll be killing a brand. Because remember, that same customer, there are stores, there are supermarkets which you dislike because the people have been dishonest to you. I'll tell you this other big brand. It's a big supermarket. I won't mention it. It's big. But when I went there, I used to go there. When I bought a rotten, what do you call this? It was a watermelon. From that day, I've never set my foot into that big supermarket.
Did you ever tell them that the watermelon was rotten?
The problem now is with some of the customer. I'm also a customer somewhere. When you see a customer communicating to you about their problem, it means they can come back. But other customers, they'll just say, "These guys, they want to play with me. I'm never going to go back." Because this is a big supermarket which is supposed to control its quality. Yeah. So the issue now is about, if you lie to a customer, you are now killing the brand. You can win. Remember, it's not about winning a battle, but in sales, you need to win the war. So some of the people are better off with winning a transaction rather than winning. Remember, even when you've got a builder, you've got a painter, yes, they can manipulate you. They can do whatever they're doing with you that time, and probably think that they've gotten away with that. Because probably someone has built my house, has built your house. They're going to build it today, but they don't even know that probably Steve is going to own 20 or 30 houses. If they're going to do a correct job initially, it means they've got a chance of building other 19 houses. But if they're going to lie to me today, and I'll discover that you're lying to me, definitely I'm never going to hire you again. Are gone.
Potential clients are gone.
So you should be honest. You rather lose a customer. I would rather lose a customer whilst I'm telling them the truth, rather than trying to manipulate or to make someone feel comfortable when I know that this is not the real position. This is not the situation which is supposed to be there. So in sales, you need to overpromise, but at the end of the day, also over-deliver. Because the biggest sales which you can do is not actually in convincing and persuading a customer. The biggest salesperson is the one who's going to deliver the best service. Being rejected is normal. We are rejected every day. Sometimes we actually feel like we no longer we suffer from even self-esteem because we are rejected. It happens, but it's the recovery process of knowing that no, it's just a game. It's rejecting me. So what? You see, like even when I usually go with my books to the gym. You notice that the tendency is to sell to probably blacks because I know that it's easy for me to communicate with blacks. But I can be hesitant to actually approach the white people. But you'll be noticing that the white guys are the ones who can buy these books better than anyone.
They're interested in buying the book, yeah.
You see, so it's about just approach everyone. Whether they reject you, whatever they're going to say, don't take it to heart. Just know that this is a game. This is what is going to make you rich. But anyway, the matter now of trying to, I'll give you an example. There's this other client. I went and I met him. He bought 2 of my books, but we had suggested a bigger deal, which was, I think, worth more than 5,000 thereabouts. Then the client said, he said straightforward, they said, no, I don't want the product. I've got these other guys who are doing it for me from Kenya. I've got these other guys who are also doing for it.
Hello, welcome to Soft Smart Solution. My name is Takuzwa. Today I'm going to be talking about Sage 50C Pastel Partner. Why choose Sage 50C Pastel Partner? Number 1, you are saying you have the freedom. Work how, when, and whenever you want through secured cloud access. Number 2, you have control. Make quick and informed decisions through smart performance dashboard and powerful reporting tools. Number 3, productivity. Boost the productivity of your team through various features which includes Sage Contact, Sage Capture, Sage 50 Cloud Intelligence Reporting, Cloud Backup, accept payments from your customers, and direct bank fees. Thank you so much for watching. Don't hesitate to contact us at Soft Smart Solutions, where we work smart and efficient.
For me internally. Then he said, no, there's no problem. So it's actually a good thing. Because remember, he was to agree with him. It's a very important say. Thanks so much. I think we are okay with that. You can do that. It's fine. But whenever you need help, just know that we are available and we can assist you. Boom, we left the meeting. And one of my consultants actually thought that we were never going to win that deal. But amazingly, after about 3 months down the line, when they tried with these other guys, the project failed. And we actually got more, not only that product which I wanted to sell, we ended up selling 2 services, which actually gave us double the amount of money. And right now that client can now trust us, because why? We've shown that we can deliver. And what I did was, I maintained the relationship for those 3 months. I'm Koma, how are you? I'm a brother, how's it? You're a trade fair, we can meet, we can just have drinks, we can do this. But the problem now is we only want to take care of the customers who have directly bought from us. I've got a customer who rejected our services from 2020, but I did a training for them last 3 months. And do you know what he was saying? He was now saying, I regret if I should have done this earlier.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. But it's because they think that don't burn bridges because you're rejected. You never know that person is going to transform your life. So that person can even, probably a vendor selling in the streets, probably you're looking at someone who's going to help you in your life in future. I think even in my book, The Shadow Vendor, I violated a lady called Sister Chido, who actually helped me to get my first job after, when I was now getting out of the streets. Why? It's because this person, you have only sold to them you've only sold, I was selling her airtime, but she later got me a job, which made me survive for almost 2 years. So treat everyone with respect, don't burn bridges, just leave. Even when, do you know, customers, I think a vendor difficult customers. It's not every customer who is smooth. Other customers, they can actually make you broke. Do you know that?
Yeah.
But well, the problem is people think that every customer is not always right.
That's very true.
It's not, customers are kings, but they are not always right.
That's true.
So even when you're now saying, I don't think I can provide this service for you, probably because they don't want to pay the money, or probably there are other challenges which are there. Do it in an amicable way, so that this person, when they now need other services or help, they can approach you without any hesitance, because you have said, you have put a room of a relationship. You didn't burn bridges. You didn't say that if you're going to see, you are never going to see me. Probably you're going to see me on your funeral only. So all that kind of language can burn bridges, and can destroy your business. Remember, as much as we are in sales, we are also in marketing. We want to build the brand which can sustain your organization for the next 100 years.
Absolutely. There you have it. Don't burn bridges when you are rejected. Treat rejection as a game that you can always play every other day when you wake up in the morning. Learn from your rejections. What was the cause for the failure of the sale, and build upon that knowledge to advance your selling skills and become a better salesperson. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next episode. It has been nice hanging out with you. Remember to subscribe, share the video with your friends, and like. It really helps the algorithm for others to find these videos. And for today's challenge, we are challenging you to come with the most challenging rejection you've ever faced from your clients. Do come through and let us know in the comment section, and you could stand a chance to win one of these books, either the Chartered Vendor or the other one, Selling like a Vendor. You could win these books if you come through in the comment section. Otherwise, see you